9 ways to bring around people without giving offense. Because as we know, in communication, you can be an aggressive communicator, you can be an assertive communicator, you can be a passive communicator. An aggressive communicator is a person who achieves results, but in the bargain, he offends people and spoils relationship. A passive communicator is the one who is more a people pleaser, but also sacrifices the results for which he is involved in. The ideal communication is an assertive communication where you achieve your end objective, the results. But at the same time, you ensure that you are not offending people, you are maintaining the relationship. And this 9 ways to bring around people without giving offense, as given by Dale Carnegie, sir, is one of the best 9 principles for you to remember whenever you want to practice and master assertive communication. The first one is begin with praise and honest appreciation. But it's always good whenever you are interacting with another human being to praise people, because everybody likes to be appreciated. And let me tell you one more thing. Every human being has got some appreciable point which can be noticed and expressed to him. So begin with praise and honest appreciation. This creates a conjugal environment and makes the entire process of communication with the other person in a much better manner. Second point, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. It's always important to know that nobody likes to be criticized, condemned or complained. So you can remember a PNP formula. Always whenever you want to draw attention to people's mistakes, first start with some positive. Then point out the mistakes or the gap or the error. And then again end the conversation again with a positive. So when you do this is called a sandwich technique. You'll ensure that the environment doesn't get vitiated. And the person is able to accept the gap or the mistakes which you may not be knowing much more better. So identify something positive, then point out the mistakes or the lapse, and then again end it with positive so that the other person feels motivated and encouraged. The third point, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Friends, remember, very, very important for you to remember that no human being is perfect. Perfection is a myth. What all we people are aspiring for is for growth and better performance. So it's always better, in order to show the other person your own vulnerability and the humaneness, talk about your own mistakes. I'm sure every one of us have made mistakes. And mistakes, as we know, are the stepping stone to success. We all have learned, progressed, grown because of the mistakes we did in the past, learned from them and moved forward. So always talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. So if you want to point out something about some fallacy, some gap, some mistakes of the other person, tell that you also have made similar mistakes and that you are finding this in the other person and the consequence of this. And by telling him that the first point about every mistake is, if you learn from a mistake, it's not a crime. But if you continue to ignore your mistake and not learn from a mistake, that can be very fatal for the other person. So from that context, whenever you are able to share with the other person is able to accept and rectify the mistakes, learn from the mistakes and also grow. And I promise you, the other person will be always thankful to you that you pointed out his mistakes and helped him correct. Fourth one, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. But nobody likes to be dictated. Nobody likes to be commanded. Everybody likes to come to their own conclusions. And asking questions is the best way of hooking the mind and making the other person think. And thinking is a very important faculty for everybody. And everybody has got that faculty which God has blessed everybody with. So when you are able to ask the pertinent question, the other person will be able to realize what you are trying to arrive at, and he will be on his own commit to those actions. And remember, my friends, when a person commits to his action on his own, then automatically he is more responsible, is more adhered to, is more accountable to the action, and automatically the desirable results will be automatically obtained. The fifth one, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Friends, remember, any action which is recognized and rewarded gets repeated. And second important human construct principle is every human being is starving for appreciation. So when you point out improvements, when you point out the good points, the other person feels good about it. He feels more energized. And these small improvements can lead to a substantial growth for the other person. So consciously, friends, remember, praise the slightest improvement and every improvement, and make it an opportunity to make the other person feel good. And remember, what you give is what you get. And when you praise and keep the environment positive, you also would be able to be a recipient of similar positive conversation and communication from the other person as well. Sixth one, let the other man save his face. Friends, to her is human. Every human being is going to make some mistakes. Don't ever ridicule him, especially in public. Don't admonish people and pull them down and hurt their self-esteem. Always let people save their face. The PNP formula can be used: praise him, point out his mistake, and again praise him, and give him an opportunity to rectify himself. And that would be a big way in which you will be leading to his self-improvement. At the same time, ensure that your relationship with him is kept cordial and to the next level. So let the other man save his face. Every human being likes to be having a dignity, having a self-esteem. Try to preserve it, help him save it. At the same time, rectify any mistake he has done. This is the way you can forward the relationship. Seventh one, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Friends, remember, when you make the other person feel important, when you make the other person have a reputation, or you talk about his old accomplishments, his identity, you will automatically strive to take all his action, all his behavior in that direction. When you say that you have been excellent in this, you have a reputation of being somebody who's reliable, dependable, a man of integrity, he's automatically going to ensure that he's going to strive in order to ensure that that reputation or identity is maintained. This is what you have to do. Ensure that you are able to give him a reputation and make him feel one with that reputation as an identity, and this will automatically make him strive to take that action in your desired direction. Eighth one, my friends, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Friends, remember, we are all bundles of energy. Whenever you want the best performance from the other person, you have to energize him. How do you energize him? By encouraging him. Encouragement, again, the word courage is hidden in that. You have to make the other person feel courageous. Everybody of us also has got this emotion called fear, which all of us have conditioned ourselves into. So this courage is nothing but taking action in the face of fear. And fear is an imaginary pain. And fear is maximum when you are about to start a task. So what you need to do is, you have to encourage people to be in action. And even if they have got some diffidence, even if they got some gap, make them realize that for any human being, everything is possible. All that it requires is that courage to be in action, to be able to be open to learn from their past failures and mistakes and move forward. And this attitude, if a person gets, I promise you, anything is possible for every human being. And we have to also remember that if one human being can do it, the other person can also do it. So give them that confidence, and automatically you will be able to achieve great results from your team. Ninth one is, make the other person happy about doing the things you suggest. Friends, we talk about concept like effortlessness. We talk about concept like doing in a flow, being in a zone. How does a people get into these peak states, which leads to peak performance? Zone, or being in a flow, or effortlessness. It is when a people choose to do what they do. And when people choose to do what they do, automatically they touch excellence, and they're also happy about what they are doing. And as a leader, as a co-partner, as a colleague, you need to ensure that your environment, your team, always wants to do something, doesn't have to do it. Let them do it out of free will, free choice, and without the sense of burden, and you will automatically see that the environment is happy, and you will have the benefits of effortlessness, zone, and being in a flow, which leads you to achieve or accomplish any task with a touch of excellence. And friends, Let's again reiterate and recapitulate the 9 ways to bring around people without giving offense. A very, very important people skill which every person should try to master and learn, because this is the way in which you'll be able to develop a team and be a good leader. Because today, friends, everything is a team game, and it's ultimately the results which any team, any organization, any department, any society which it gets is mainly because of the type of leadership which it has got. And these 9 ways are definitely the people skill and leadership skill which any human being can learn, master, and thereby benefit. They are: begin with praise and honest appreciation. Second one, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Third one, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Fourth, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Fifth, praise the slightest improvement and every improvement. Sixth, let the other man save his face. Seventh, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Eighth, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Ninth, make the other person happy about doing the things you suggest. So friends, hope these 9 principles you will learn, master, and thereby improve your people skill and your leadership skill as well.